guys, this video is late. Today's video is going to be all about the things that I wish I knew before I started medical school. And I hope that if you're already in medical school or professional school, you know, law school, getting a PhD, whatever it may be, that this is something you can listen to and laugh because you've already made it and hopefully you're close to being done like I am. And if you haven't gotten into medical school or professional school and you're thinking about it, this can be something that helps you make the decision on whether or not this is right for you, because I think that people can easily go through all of their schooling and be told, okay, like, you're really smart and I think you could totally become a doctor, or you could totally become a lawyer. And so you just think, well, I could do it, so why not? And I don't love that for any of us. At the end of the day, I'm very glad that I chose to go to medical school, but I definitely think that there are other things out there in the world that I could have done instead of medical school and been just as happy. And once you get on this pathway, it's pretty hard to reflect and let yourself decide that that's not the right path for you. Number one, that's 2 fingers. Thing number 1 is it's a joke. Come on. So in my personal experience, I haven't had any difficult residents, but while I was on my internal medicine rotation, I asked my residents if they could think of anything they wish they had known before starting medicine or starting medical school, and that was what one of them said, jokingly. If you do get difficult residents, sometimes you can have issues where residents either don't prepare you for things like how an attending likes a presentation to be, or questions to ask. At the end of the day, you as a medical student have to definitely be on top of things and think of things ahead of time, but your residents are there to teach you, and so when they're not doing that, that's what I call a poor resident, a bad resident. Thing number 2. Come on. Hey. Residency can be really long, and I think people don't prepare you for the actual length of your medical training, and this one is very specific to medical school, maybe to veterinary school, but both veterinary school and dental school, you do not have to do a residency. A lot of people do, but you don't have to. And so medical school, you do truly have to do a residency in order to become a fully boarded physician. And that's something that people don't tell you when you're just talking about 4 years of medical school. So you do 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school, and then anywhere from 3 to 7 or more years of residency and fellowship training. So it can be a long time before you are truly not a trainee anymore. You are in charge of your own schedule, you are in charge of your practice and what type of patients you want to take on. It can take a long time. That leads me perfectly into the next one, which is number 3. You lose all control of your schedule. During the first 2 years, a lot of medical schools have online schooling, and so you are able to skip a lot of classes and do them on your own and prepare for things at home or in a coffee shop or in a library, wherever you feel like you learn the best and at your own pace. And there are some mandatory things that you have to go to in person, whereas 3rd and 4th year, you are basically working. You have a schedule. You are expected to be at the hospital at a certain hour and to see patients for however long. You're on someone else's schedule as far as what time you eat lunch, what time you get off, and so it can be really stressful to be able to keep up with some of the things that you like to do outside of medicine, like working out, doing YouTube, or anything like that. So for me, during my 3rd year, one of the main things I tried to keep up with was working out, and I actually joined Orange Theory and I loved it, but it was really hard to schedule my classes when I didn't know what time I was going to get off of work. And so that kind of sucked, and I didn't want to waste my money because Orange Theory is super expensive if you haven't already figured that out. Next thing, number 4. For whatever reason, I thought that after I left college that dating was gonna get easier, and it really, really didn't. I don't know why I thought that dating was gonna be easier in medical school when you have less time to yourself, but I did, and I was naive. So don't be like me. Just go into things with an open mind and thinking that you are going to have time to do things for yourself and have fun. And I think that's one thing that people don't prepare you for, is how to manage your time in a way that you can still keep up with stuff that you like, going out with friends, going out to eat, going to bars, and that type of stuff. So that's actually one of my other ones. So we'll just go on to that. Number 5. Totally possible. People act like in medical school all you're going to do is study, all you're going to do is read books and watch videos and go to class. And I mean, it is really hard to balance, but you work at it and you make time for the things that you want to make time for. So for me, that was hanging out with friends, being able to watch a little bit of TV, and just getting out and about and not always being at home or at work or at school. And I was able to do that. For instance, one day, me and my friends studied for a quiz together, and we literally went hard for 2 hours, studied out loud, answered questions, practiced, whatever. And then we went to Well Wednesdays, which is like this one bar in town has $1 well drinks, and partied for like 2 hours, went to sleep. Everybody made it to the quiz on time that morning at 8 a.m. Took the quiz, everybody passed. And I think that's one thing where you have to kind of pick and choose what's most important to you. We really wanted to have a fun night because we had just had a test the week before, and this quiz really wasn't worth that much towards our towards our grade. That didn't mean we wanted to allow ourselves to fail on it, but we were like, we're going to prepare adequately, and then we're going to have our fun after. And that's something that I think people forget about the opportunity to do. Like, you really need to, again, make space and time for yourself to relax, to have fun, and just to like enjoy life. Literally brings me to number 6. I'm going to run out of fingers eventually. Number 6. You are not ever going to have more time. People swear up and down that you should wait until after medical school to get a dog, to get married, to date, to have kids. There is never going to be more time, because as soon as you get to 3rd and 4th year and start talking to residents, you realize that they have less time than you. They work so many hours, sometimes 80 plus hours a week. When are you going to have more time? Never. Then you get to attending level and you're still going to be working 50 or more hours a week, depending on your specialty. So I literally cannot stress this enough. You will never have more time than you have now. Please, please, please do the things you want to do. Travel, make a YouTube channel, get a dog, have fun, go on dates, get married, have kids, whatever. It's not gonna get easier. Number 7, come here. You really need to watch out for yourself and your mental health. This is probably the most serious thing on my list. I, for an entire year, was burnt out, which is a word that academia loves to use. Burnout this, burnout that. It's depression. If you are too tired to get up in the morning, too tired to go to work, feel like you're not focused at work, hate what you're doing when you're at work, you are depressed. And that is literally the types of questions that people ask you when they're trying to like assess for burnout. It's just another word for it. And you know, if you are feeling that way for a long period of time like I was, then you need to get help. So therapy is a resource that I would look for if I'm looking for a new medical school, and that's something that I was not thinking about when I was looking at medical schools. It's definitely something that I've kept in mind for residencies, which residencies really care about their house staff morale and house staff health, mental health, and resources, and that's something that I would encourage current undergraduate students looking for medical schools to be thinking about when they're comparing their medical school options. Thankfully, my institution did have therapy, and so I was able to see a counselor during all of last year, and then I'm seeing a therapist now, and it's been really, really helpful. And another thing is we learn about antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicines in medical school, and there are so many people that still don't want to take them because of the societal misconceptions that if you're taking an antidepressant, then you're not okay. You know, we take medicines for other things. I would not be able to lay in this grass right now without my allergy medicine and the years of allergy shots that I took, but I felt a type of way about taking antidepressants. And I think we don't realize how many other students are also in therapy and on antidepressants, and it is totally okay to need them. And we just have to allow ourselves the space to take advantage of things that we encourage our patients to take advantage of. So that is, again, my most serious thing on my list, but it is the one thing that I hope that everyone takes away from this. They're serious one and one a very trivial one. Number 8. You need a support system. And by that I mean you need either family that you can call or that's close by. You need friends, and that means that within your school, please try and make friends. I think that people can easily come to a new school for medical school and think, oh, I'm just gonna be by myself because I need to study anyway. Try and make friends. At the beginning of medical school, we had multiple events where people were able to meet each other and, like, you know, you could talk about things you had in common, blah, blah, blah. And that's how a lot of people met their friends for the next 4 years. And participating in those was definitely important for me to find the people that I confide in and that I study with. It was important for me to find my study group. So it's just, you need support. You need support in so many different ways. Support for studying, support for when you're not feeling well, support for fun stuff. You know, you need people to go out with when you're done studying. So find a support system. If you don't already have one, you need to find one. You need to, you know, let your family know that you may call them more often than you used to. And then if you do have one, don't hesitate to add to it, because you can never have enough people to support you and lift you up, in my opinion. And the last one, number 9, so we didn't make it all the way to 10. That scrubs are the most comfortable or uncomfortable item you can ever own. For me personally, early on, where was I going? Oh. Scrubs can be very, very comfortable or very uncomfortable. Can you sit down? When I first started, I bought the cheapest scrubs I could find from Walmart, and they were so uncomfortable. I hated them. Everybody was like, oh my god, I love wearing scrubs. And I was like, hate these, would rather wear anything else. And then I found the world of free hospital scrubs, which personally I really like. I think they're comfortable as long as they're not too short, and they're free. I have never owned a pair of figs, but I've heard that they are also very, very comfortable. My cousin wants me to buy a pair. I can't justify $100 for a pair of scrubs that I could get for free, so I don't know. You make that decision for yourself. And yeah, y'all can let me know if there's any other brands of scrubs that you like that may not cost as much as figs, but for now I'm sticking with the free scrubs. I'm gonna be honest about that. And yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting my channel, and me and Betsy are gonna keep chilling out here and maybe watch the sunset. I don't know. But yeah, look forward to more videos, and thank you so much for watching.